everyone, and welcome to the Hold On to Dawn podcast. I am your host, Erin. It has been 4 months since the last podcast episode I recorded and released. And I have just been busy with work and traveling. I was inspired to connect back with the AFSP and dive into more things so that I had new material for the podcast, because I felt like I had covered all the topics that I wanted to in the last year and a half, and I had kind of run out of ideas. So today I attended my first International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. And even though I have been fundraising and walking with the AFSP for 10 years now, this is the first event I've attended other than a walk. And it was really meaningful, and I felt very connected to other people there. And it was just a really nice way to feel as though you're not alone and there are other people going through similar things, and being able to talk about it with other people also can help them, because I've reached a point in my grief journey. I lost my dad to suicide 28 years ago. So the ebbing and flowing of the awful grief that happens when you first lose someone, and within like 5 years, the first 5 years I feel like are the most profound. So since I'm almost 3 decades in, I don't feel the daily grief that other people may still feel losing someone to suicide. I, of course, mourn him, but it's not a sadness I feel every day. And the 3 most difficult days of the year for me are his birthday, Father's Day, and the anniversary of his death. And other than those days, I really don't have a lot of grief surrounding his death. I have gone to therapy, and I have done work within myself with like grief. I have reached a place where I am at peace with his death, and going into this event, I was not feeling succumb with grief and like needing to connect with people. I just kind of wanted to experience it and see what it was all about, because I never had. And suicide prevention is one of the most important things to me. So it felt important to me to attend this. So the one that I found to be closest to me was Westchester County Suicide Prevention chapter, and they actually have their own suicide prevention network, and their website is chestercountysuicideprevention.com. And I got a pamphlet from them when I attended. They had a whole table full of resources, and I grabbed this one because I wanted to talk about them and what they do. So they are a diverse group of mostly volunteers who are survivors of loss to suicide, mental health, and public health professionals, educators, healthcare workers, crisis workers, concerned neighbors, and friends. They are working to decrease suicide in Chester County, PA. And they participate in a number of public awareness campaigns to combat stigma and increase awareness of resources in Chester County. And they offer evidence-based public education programs which teach how to recognize, understand, and respond to mental health challenges in crisis. Their mission wouldn't be possible with, I think that's supposed to say without our partners. Come join one of our working committees to help us achieve our mission. So I didn't know about them until I think I received an email from the AFSP about National Survivors of Suicide Loss Day, and the Westchester County meeting event popped up. And so I decided to register with them because the other one that appeared was a little bit farther away. So, but I didn't know anything about their Chester County Suicide Prevention Organization before today. So it was great to learn of another suicide prevention network, aside from the AFSP, that was involved in this event, in this specific event. So since today was National Survivors of Suicide Loss Day, there were hundreds of events around the entire country, and there was also a virtual event at 7 p.m. And it's basically just about coming together and coping through your grief and navigating feelings and emotions and joining with other people and hearing their stories and knowing that you're not alone in your loss, because we all grieve differently. We all grieve a suicide loss differently, and being able to connect with other people that have lost someone in a similar relationship, such as when we broke off into groups after the initial video we watched about suicide loss and families talking about their loss. We broke into groups of people that have lost a parent, people that have lost a spouse, a sibling, a friend. And I got put with the people that lost a parent. And it was great to talk in a small group to people that have lost the same relationship as you, because I can't understand the loss of a child or the loss of a partner because I haven't experienced that. So being able to just talk within our own groups felt a little bit more connected to me. And I spoke about how I lost my dad 28 years ago, and as a 6-year-old, it was very hard to process. But then about 10 years ago, I kind of really processed it as an adult, and what that was like for me, and how this event was important to me to connect with a community of people that are dealing with suicide loss. So, like I said, the first thing we did was watch a movie that was 3 families. The movie was done by the AFSP. It was like a documentary, 3 families that lost someone through suicide and their grief journeys and coping and how they dealt with it and how they're continuing to deal with it. Then we broke into our groups about loss. Then we did a healing activity. So there was a sound bathroom and there was an art room. So I've never done a sound bath before, so I could have possibly done that, but I was a little nervous to try something I'd never done before. So I stuck with the art room because that was what I felt more connected to. My dad was also an artist, so doing art kind of gives me a little bridge to him. It makes me feel connected to him in a way, even though he was practically a professional artist. He went to college for art, and I am not an artist at all. I am a dancer, so like that's where I get my artistic side from. Like it comes from him. Dancing and creative writing I love to do. Drawing is fun, but I'm not great at it. But so that was a little activity we did. And then after those activities were done, we came back to the main room and we did a remembrance poem together, and we each got to take a candle with a ribbon that signified who we had lost. So gold is the color for the AFSP. Gold is the color for a parent loss. Red is a spouse or significant other. One of them is for a sibling, and then the other is for a friend. I can't remember those colors, though. I just know of the gold and the red because that's what me and my mother wear when we do our walks. And we read the poem together. We lit our candles. They were just little plastic ones. And it was a really, really nice experience from start to finish. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very glad I did it. And it was something that I encourage other people to try. There's only one event a year. There's just one Survivors Suicide Loss Day a year. And it's a way of staying connected and being able to talk about things, and it's free, and it is just kind of like a warm hug. It makes you realize that you're not alone and you can support others. You can lean on others for support, and it was really touching, and I'm so glad I did it. And I really do encourage anyone that is interested to check it out for next year. Yeah, so that is about it for this episode. It's kind of short, but I am just kind of hopping back into the podcast world. I'm not sure if I will have another episode by the end of the year. Most likely not, because it's getting busy with holidays and traveling again for me. But this episode was really important for me to do, and I'm hoping to get it out the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, but it might possibly out the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to 2026. I am on a mission to do the overnight walk for the AFSP, which I've never done before. It's a 16-mile from sundown to sunrise walk, and it's so cool, and it's been a mission of mine to do it for years, and I just had it in my head, like, within the last couple of weeks. I was like, you know what? You're going to do it. 2026. This is your year. You are going to do that walk. So they don't announce where it is until about the first or second week of January, but I already did early registration. I'm excited about it. Hope it's not somewhere too far away. I'm hoping it's in Philly or Boston, because those are both places that they've done it before. Last year was New York, and I think the year before that was Boston. So I'm not sure where it'll be. It's usually on the East Coast. I believe they choose that because the headquarters of the AFSP are in New York City. So it's probably easier to get a team of people on the East Coast than it is the West Coast. I think the last time they did the West Coast was 2019 before COVID. I think they had an event in San Francisco. So I've been trying to prep myself for that. Not physically, but just kind of learn everything I can about it. And I'm getting excited about it. And I hope that the date and the location fall in line with my schedule and I'm able to do it, because I am so motivated and excited to be a part of it. And I feel like it's my year. 6 is one of my lucky numbers. So since next year is 2026, I'm like, this is your year, girl. You're going for it. So if anyone else is interested in learning about the overnight walk, there is a website. The AFSP has a specific section of their website for it. Let me get the link. So the website is theovernight.org, and there's all the information about it. You can save your spot today for the 2026 overnight walk. And on the website, it has a lot of information about it, frequently asked questions, stuff like that. So if you're interested, learn all about it. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Have a happy holiday, happy new year, and I will see you in 2026. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Our website is holdontilldawn.com, and our email is holdontilldawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at holdontilldawn and on Facebook at Hold On Till Dawn Benefit Concert. See you next time.